TubeBuddy 101. This is a special edition. This is a channel review edition today, this week, actually. So, Andrew, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well. Happy Canada Day.
That's right. That's right. I got my flag here somewhere. It's gonna unroll.
I'll let you have this one.
Thank you so much. There you go. Happy Canada Day, all the Canadians. If there's any Canadians here today, let us know in the comments. That's awesome. Awesome, Andrew. Really excited for this one this week. This is a special edition. Usually we do TubeBuddy 101, which is more introductory. We talk about keyword research. We talk about SEO Studio. But this week we're doing channel reviews. And so if you guys are here, then go into the description. You'll find a link to a Google form. Fill it out, but be really specific with what questions you have about your channel. Not just how do I grow, but be really specific about what it is with your channel that you want us to dive into, look into, give you feedback on. That way we can give you as much value as we can through this session. Also, if by any chance, this live stream goes down for whatever reason with YouTube, head over to our community forums. If you haven't already, head over to our community forums. We'll put a link in the chat for you guys to join us there. And Andrew, there is a feedback section thread inside of the community, right?
So if you look there, you'll see YouTube feedback. There are rules there on how you get feedback, but if for whatever reason we can't get to you today, there is the YouTube feedback section on the forums, as well as something that is new from us at TubeBuddy called channelreviews.com. So if you'd like us to take a look, that is a paid service, but if you are looking for a review and you want to take a look at it, that is something we offer. So it is from us at TubeBuddy, and it's just another thing. But I think it's time we get into either channel or video SEO reviews. So because this is a 101, it's going to be more beginner focused. So that's how we're going to be kind of taking a look at the channels we're looking at today. As Rob said, if all you put is this good? We're probably going to skip because that doesn't give us anything to look at. If you'd like a channel review, in the description down below is a form. Our moderators will be looking at chat. If you spam, please review, you probably will be timed out, but let's just have some fun. Let's learn. And I'm really excited. I don't know about you, Rob.
I'm super excited. This is my my official first channel review stream, so I'm gonna follow your lead, Andrew. So let's just jump into it. But also before I give you the mic, please let's share this out. Let's put this out on Twitter, tweet this out, share it in Facebook groups. Let's get as many creators in here so that we can all learn from each other during the next 60 to 90 minutes that we're together here.
Absolutely.
Sounds good, Andrew. Let's go.
All right. So Rob, while I'm pulling up the first one, Rob will be looking at chat a little bit more than I am. We may have some of your questions. So just so you know, the first person we're going to be looking at is Fit with Fahad. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. So he's going to be the first channel we're going to be reviewing. So Fit with Fahad says, I'm in a very saturated niche of fitness. How can I improve my ability to get people to watch my videos and use TubeBuddy's keyword research? So Fit with Fahad, the first thing we want to do is look at the channel, right? So we see someone who is in a fit stance here. It's Fit with Fahad, so we understand that it's fitness related. It says simplifying science to make your fat loss journey straightforward. I think that's great. It's straight to the point. The only immediate feedback I have is, Rob, if I told you, when does Fahad go post? Could you tell me from this banner?
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Not from the banner for sure.
And I think a reason to subscribe, is always a call. So I think you are almost there. I say simplifying science to make your fat loss journey straightforward. Subscribe for new videos helping you on your journey or something like that, because it's already pretty well stated here. I also like the color scheme we got going. We have the green, black, and we have white. I think this is a pretty solid, simple color scheme. When I look at the uploads, I immediately can see it.
Yep.
So right here, I kind of want to base on what the channel already has. So we have training techniques. Now, while that's good, the only problem I would have is I see that we have biceps, we have glutes, we have squats, we have lats. So this is, I'm assuming, his overall general catch-all playlist. Yep. And while that's not bad, it could improve. And I see that you have a more dedicated one to glute training. And so that's a little more focused. Similarly, nutrition and supplements. So you asked us how you can find new ideas. So I don't know what to talk about because Canada Day, but the glutes. If you guys don't like the puns, Rob can tell you it's going to be that for the next night.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So
the boots are going to come out and the A's.
Well, you know what? Speaking of that Canada Day, look at right there. It's trending in the
there
US.
You go. There you go.
So if you're out there and unfamiliar with our Keyword Explorer, we actually have trending topics per location on the front page, right? So you can see what's trending. And what I like about this, you can also see what's trending in the country you're based out of. So since Rob is in Canada and it's Canada Day, I'm going to switch to Canada, and you can see all the different trends in Canada. Keep in mind that trends, they come and go. So people ask, how often should we look? We recommend checking once a day if there's a trend that makes sense. So for example, since Fit with Fahad is about fitness, if we saw anything that's about fitness in here, it might make sense to talk about it. But as I look, I don't really see anything fitness related. So I think we should just focus on those glutes we were talking about. Rob's just going to get done with me.
Here we go.
All right.
Awesome.
So
love it. I love
it's
it.
all about the glutes, says Urban Explorer.
All about the glutes.
Absolutely. But let's say we want to look up some stuff about glutes. Let's start with a video that's already done. In fact, I want to do that now. So here are what we have. Why glutes won't grow, right? Like this is a pretty standard, the focus is glutes, but I would say the real keyword is glute training basics here. Would you agree with that, Rob?
Yeah.
So right off the bat, the first thing that I'm noticing is a difference between what you have titled, how you've described the video, as well as how you're tagging. You see that, Rob?
Yeah, I see that.
So we say why glutes won't grow, but I actually don't see that exact phrase in this tag section here. I see how to grow glutes. I see why train glutes, how to train bum, but I don't see why glutes won't grow. So initially, I'm seeing a huge difference in how you are titling, how you are tagging. So the first thing I would do is, if this is really about glute training basics, which should also be a tag and should also be in your description, that's where I'd start. So let's see if he's ranking for any of this. Sadly, we're not seeing anything. But Rob, do you want to explain to people what incognito mode is in case they don't know?
Yeah, so incognito mode is basically when TubeBuddy will actually use an incognito browser to pull up all of the rankings and things like that. So you get a more accurate result as far as like how you're actually ranking for different keywords, which isn't affected by your own behavior on YouTube. So yeah, that's incognito. But yeah, I guess going back to that, it's there's a lot of very generic sort of keywords, I guess, like really short one-word keyword tags there.
Yeah.
So yeah, not keywords, tags. So yeah, probably we'll need to do a little bit more research for some more longer tail tags there. That's what I would do for sure.
Exactly. And that was one of the questions, is how do we, do some keyword research to find something better? So I would say let's look up, why train glutes, let's see if there's anything here. So immediately there is some. So, I mean, you really have to decide. And this is why we always recommend doing the keyword research first, so you can really decide what this video is about. Because is this video about why you should train glutes, or is it about why your glutes won't grow? Because you're telling YouTube it's one thing, but then doing another. And that'd be like if I told Rob, hey, we're best friends, but then I set his house on fire. I'd be sending him two different messages.
Yeah, I'm very confused there. Very confused.
And I used that because on Canada Day, never forget that the Canadians burnt down the White House. I promise I didn't have any of these planned.
This video is demonetized. No, I'm kidding.
We don't even monetize.
We don't even monetize. Yeah.
I do think it's important that we discuss, what was the focus. So I'd say maybe we instead look up why glutes won't grow. So actually there's a little bit of search. Another way I saw is why glutes won't activate, right? So that's something we could have considered. But you see, the thing I see here when we look in why glutes won't grow, I'm starting to see a few things that make me a little nervous, right? So why glutes won't grow? So I accidentally typed in don't, but this is focused on won't. There is a difference.
There is a difference.
The main thing I'm seeing here is the search volume is actually pretty poor for this term. And the reason why that's concerning is if there's not a lot of people searching for it, then if you make a video that not a lot of people had interest in, it becomes confusing, because if no one is looking for it and you made a video on it, then it did not perform. It might have only performed as well as it could. So I accidentally typed in why glutes don't grow, which actually seems to do a little bit better. The search volume is actually pretty good. It's in the yellow. And if you want to know how you're supposed to read these charts, a lot of people get confused here. So the thing is, you need to think of this exactly as a traffic light. And if you know how a traffic light works, then each of these different segments equals something else. So Rob, you, in a very, very safe and cautious driver, how about we describe what each of these means?
So obviously red is stop and green is go. It's really that simple, right? So, and then if you look down in the score analysis, in search volume, competition, optimization, again, red is stop, green is go, yellow and orange, slow down, think twice about it, be cautious. And so really as simple as that.
And when you think of it like that, in terms of keyword, red means to stop and consider another keyword. Yellow is to be cautious about that keyword, because as I said, Rob's a safe driver. But if I run a yellow light and I get pulled over by the cop, then I assumed the risk, right? So similarly, if you use a keyword that has a yellow score, you're assuming the risk of knowing that, hey, it may not perform now, but maybe down the line. Similarly, green is you're pretty much good to go.
Yep.
So
pretty much.
If we look here, there's actually some decent search volume here for why glutes don't grow. But this is just an overall thing I would say you should do, not only on this channel, but whatever you title. Your title and your main keyword should be found in your title, your description, and your tags. So what we're seeing here fit with Fahad is that, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, you have multiple different things competing with one another instead of working together.
Right.
I see Evan Carmichael says, get TubeBuddy and make your YouTube strats less muddy. Well, thank you, Evan.
Right. Thanks, Evan. Good to see you here, man.
So overall, Rob, how do you feel? Like, can you identify what this channel is about?
I mean, I have a pretty good idea of what this channel is about. I think it's, it's definitely, it's got 200 subscribers. The branding is there. A lot of things. There's a few things to optimize on the banner and things like that. Definitely keyword research. It looks like this is something that I mean, every time I get, do an interview or podcast interview or something, people are like, what are you doing with YouTube? This is exactly it. Like I didn't do the keyword research. I would do the keyword research after I filmed and edited my videos. And so I was always kind of cornered into a very competitive keyword. And so that video never got very far. So I think with a little bit of keyword research before creating the videos, I think, Fahad here would, have much more success, more than you're already even getting now. So.
And I noticed a bit of success here. Gym stayed closed. You found a decent amount here. So maybe you should try targeting that again. An idea could be, with gyms closed, here are some home workouts you can do that doesn't require a gym. And maybe that's a way you can target. And, you can pull from that main source that's getting a lot of views and find another way you can earn more views through that.
Yep. Absolutely.
If I had to give this channel a grade based on kind of what we've seen in the SEO and based on things like that, I'd probably give them a D+ to C-. Where are you standing there, Rob?
Oh man, I don't even know how to grade, man. I'll take your lead on this for sure. Yeah, I'll take your lead on that. I got to see a few to be graded, and then I'll be able to give it a grade. But there you go. I mean, there's always room for improvements, right? So,
and C+, C- is still a passing grade, even though it may not be what you want. But you can come back, you can ask in our community forum, or you can ask here. I'm going to ask you in chat, and we're looking for chat participation too. So if you like, of course. So let us know what you would do.
Yeah, please. This is a conversation always. So I love though that there's lots of conversations amongst everyone here. There's some leg day jokes going on and stuff like that, and some love going towards Evan here as well. So good to see everyone here today. So still keep the form. If you're just joining, we're doing channel reviews today. So the form is in the description. There's a Google form. Fill it out. Be specific though. Okay, don't just say like, hey, how do I grow my channel? Be specific about one particular aspect about your channel that you'd like us to kind of hone in on and give you some feedback about.
Exactly.
All right. Awesome. Are we anything else on Fit with Fahad's channel here?
I think we've given him a good kind of foundation to go off of. So I think we're ready to move on. I'm going to go ahead and look. But in the meantime, Rob, do you want to look at if there's anything?
Yeah, there's actually a channel here. 6 seconds. Would like to actually dive into this one. This is a really good one, I think. What's
the question say?
Let me just actually jump in here. May have missed it now. Hold on one second.
No worries. We're getting a lot in.
There's a lot of questions. There's lots of channels coming in. So give me one moment.
Another thing I'm seeing pretty commonly is, what can I do better? That doesn't help us to what to look at, because we could say everything and that's not really helpful. But, Fitness with Fahad was asking, for example, he was looking for how can he get better with keyword research or things like that. And that gives us stuff we can look at. Because one thing I see right here is, how can I improve?
Right.
What?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just let us know exactly what it is that you're looking for. I think I'm trying to look for it here, but what I recall, Andrew, is that 6 seconds, their channel, they're looking to get more search views. So give me 1 second.
So in the meantime, while you're looking for that, I'll look through the document here. I see one that says just look and review. That's not enough for us to go off of. All right, here's one. This is from Learn Along. And their question is, are my videos too long with chapters and bookmarks? Right?
All right, let's pull it up.
So another thing is, if you use the view as subscriber thing, we may just pass you. And that's just because that isn't a good practice for what we're looking to do. So just a heads up. But they're asking, are my videos too long? So Rob, what do you think about when it comes to video length?
Video length, good question. I mean, for my channel, I guess speaking from experience, my own channel, my videos are anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes long. There's some interviews that obviously are like half an hour, 45 minutes. Those are more live interviews with different experts and things on the Creators Corner show. But I've always there's, listening to a few different YouTube experts, it's always, there's no specific time that I try to shoot my videos into as far as time goes, as long as they're engaging. I'm trying, and also I try not to, I try to make them as short as possible. Try not to, make it longer just to have a longer video. I just try to make them as short as possible. So if I can deliver that value or that message in 2 minutes, I don't try to extend it, to 5 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing to remember. So you're asking if your videos are too long. So let's take a look at the channel overall. And for those of you who might think this white background is a little bright, I'm going to switch over to dark mode. In case you didn't know, TubeBuddy supports dark mode. So you can click on your icon here. Under dark theme on YouTube, click on dark theme. And then boom, you can see TubeBuddy is still there. We support dark mode on our Channelytics feature. So yes, we actually do support dark mode. Hopefully that makes it a little easier on people's eyes. So the first thing I see from Learn Along is your learning disabilities expert resource. So pretty clear to me what the channel is about. It's an expert resource for people with learning disabilities. And it says Learn Along. And I think that's really a cool idea and niche, or niche, not here to start any wars.
Niche.
We'll just come up with our own one. But I think so far it's pretty clear what they're about, but similar to Fit with Fahad, if I asked you, Rob, when do they post? Could you tell me?
Yeah, hard to say by the banner.
And if I was asking you what kind of video specifically would you get, could you easily tell me?
Learning disabilities expert resource. I mean, a little bit, but not specific.
So I think your learning disabilities expert resource is a great start, but maybe you could be like, Learn Along is your learning disabilities expert resource to help you learn no matter what, or something like that. And I think just being more inclusive can really go a long way here. Now, to go to the question specifically, is the video too long? From my understanding, right, you said learning disabilities, their impacts, difficulties, and strategies, Learn Along uploads. You're doing a lot right when it comes to you have very specific searchable playlists. They are described. But my thing is, are people searching for this, right? because especially a channel like this, a learning channel, which can also be known as a utility kind of channel, can really do well in search. So my fear would be not so much length, but are people searching for this, right? So why don't we look here, right? The struggle is real. We'll start with this video, right? It's a shorter video. The struggle is real, your learning disabilities playlist. So this is unlisted as well. So when it comes to search, your video does need to be public, right?
Yeah.
So while you have all of this tagged, it will not surface in search if it's not public. So based on that, I'm not sure how many of these videos are public. I'm not sure how many are that way. So because I don't have time to unfortunately like sit here and click on every single video and know which one's public and which one isn't, we can only pretty much give general tips, which would be make sure you're focusing on, search, because what can a newfie and addresser teach you? You're talking about learn along. Maybe you can do a whole playlist on how to read better with dyslexia, right? Or dyslexia tips to read better, right? So we could use that as a jumping off point, because I know there are a lot of people out there who suffer with dyslexia or other learning disabilities. So let's just type in. Go ahead.
So Learn Along says, I did both of the same video. That's why I kept it unlisted. Got it. So you have two versions of the same video. We haven't jumped into it super deep to see, but
okay.
Yeah. Maybe perhaps the one that you put in the playlist is the public version of the video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation, especially if you want to do better in search, right?
Yeah.
So if I look here, right, we see dyslexia, and this is a good kind of starting place, because if you're trying to help someone with dyslexia, you want to see what people are looking for. So we see test, simulation, TED Talk, symptoms explained, but one of the ones for you was reading, dyslexia reading, and dyslexia for kids, which are very important subjects. And, and look right here, people are looking for reading out loud. Like dyslexia reading has a really decent amount of search, right? So you could make a whole playlist around dyslexia reading and here's how you can get better, or here's me reading for you. Because another thing people are searching for, dyslexia reading out loud. That's another thing you can kind of do. Now, this one has a poor search volume, but dyslexia reading does have a little bit better. So if you wanted to maybe go after that. And again, look here, the monthly searches per month isn't bad, right? So what I would say is, if I were to I would probably focus on dyslexia reading as just a kind of one you can do. And there's other different disabilities or different things you could target and help people out, because your channel is helping people learn. And I love that. I love the idea of learning along the way, Yep.
Yeah. Also to that note, like if you do find a keyword that you do really well on for your channel, Andrew, for me with my channel, what I've done is I'll make 2 or 3 videos on that keyword and really try to go deep on that keyword. So, dyslexia reading, there may be different videos that you can come up with this as the core keyword, so that, again, you can make a playlist. You can get people to then, watch multiple videos at the same, kind of like consecutively. You can make a series, that sort of thing. And all those things really help with watch time and all those other, analytics.
I see here from Learn Along, they say, I do have a read along playlist. No, you need to yell at us in the all caps, but that's a good thing, right? So maybe you can have more than one playlist. Maybe you have one that's only dyslexia reading out loud or something like that. You said you have a read along playlist, but maybe you break it down per the way people are searching. And here's another thing. If you talk about dyslexia, these are all things people are searching for right now on YouTube. And all of these, to Rob's point, could be a great place where you could kind of start and use those topics as a setting point for more videos.
Yep. Absolutely.
So Rob, looking here, what do you think they could do to improve besides, focusing a little bit more on search specific things?
Search specific things. Also the thumbnails. I mean, again, maybe just the thumbnails could be, kind of communicating a little bit more about what that video is. Maybe that's something that you're doing specifically. Maybe this is something that's super intentional, the way that you're designing it. But maybe just really trying to kind of convey what that video is in the thumbnails. Again, I'm not the target audience for this, but maybe there's a specific way that you're, really looking at your thumbnails and how you're designing it. But just maybe being a little bit more kind of clear about what that video is in the thumbnail.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to do, you said you're focusing on search. I wanted to break down how everyone, in case you aren't aware, you can see specifically how your thumbnail's performing in search. That's a lot of words, isn't it? So in order to do so, you just click on the TubeBuddy drop-down menu. We're going to go to analytics, and we're going to go behind the scenes. So everyone, be sure to cover your eyes. We can't joking. But here's the thing, right? Here you can see kind of TubeBuddy. I wasn't joking when I said we don't monetize. This is just, we had a video that we were testing with for a monetization thing, but we'll get rid of that soon enough. But if you go into reach, and let's say you want to see how a video is performing. So there's a couple ways you can do it. I want to see how our most recent video is performing in search, right? So we could either go here and you can kind of see when the videos are published. I actually want to do this from the video page here. So I want to see our video on, is TubeBuddy safe? I think this is a pretty good video to do this for. So we're going to click on analytics, and the whole thing for this video, if we look at reach, you might see this 3.4% click-through rate. And a lot of people might get discouraged by that. Now, we still are working to improve it. In fact, we're A/B testing this, so this will change. But the important thing to note is this video is a highly targeted search video. So if you want to know how your videos are performing for a specific traffic source, all you need to do is go to the analytics page, go to reach. Once in reach, click on impressions click-through rate, and then click see more. And from here, you'll see video, traffic source, more. We want to click on traffic source, because let's see how this video is performing in search. And if you look at YouTube search, we're performing at 9.1%. Could that be higher? Yes. But 9% of 21,000 is 2,000 views. So going back to what we were looking up earlier, we were talking about the number of searches per month. If a term has about 10,000 searches per month, then there's a real chance that you could earn, if you have a 10% click-through rate, 1,000 views a month. And for a small channel or a growing channel or a channel that's just starting, that's incredible. So great. Even if it seems like it may not work in that way, that is something to consider. So go ahead.
There's a question here from Vlambulance. I do keyword search. Nope, this other one. Sorry, Bartlow's Barbecue. Sorry, chats are moving really fast here. So what if search word is green and unweighted, but red and weighted?
So that's the difference between unweighted and weighted. Let's go back to dyslexia, right? We'll use that as our example once more, and then we'll move on to another channel. And trust me, we are doing our best to go through this, as well as make sure you guys are learning things. And all these tips, when we come to your channel, because you've seen these other people who've reviewed, that's a moment for you guys to get your own channels be better and maybe get some higher grades. So the difference between weighted and unweighted, I'm going to go back to dyslexia reading, right? Notice how our weighted score is yellow, but our unweighted score is orange. Now, the reason for this is the unweighted score is not specific to your YouTube channel, right? It's a unweighted, it's a generalized score. Where the weighted score, which does require pro or higher, but mods, if you could in the chat, please put the link to tubebuddy.com/free trial. So if you want to try TubeBuddy for free, you can. You will see that it includes this section right here, which is the U versus top rank video section, which takes your specific channel into account when doing keyword research. So Bartlow's Barbecue, you may not have the authority yet to start doing well for a term. And that doesn't mean you can't target that term. It just means you have to keep your expectations realistic, right? So the barrier to entry for dyslexia reading is, I'll round up to, let's say, 2,000. TubeBuddy, if I round up, hits about 5,000 views per video. So the lowest video view count on the top page of search results is 1,900. We hit about 5,000. So based on our previous past, if our video performs and does well, we have a really high chance of ranking and earning views that way. So that's why you might see a difference in score of weighted and unweighted. is just a generalized score, where the weighted score to you. And Rob and I, for example, would have 2 different weighted scores on our personal channels because our channels perform differently.
Right. That's right.
So I think we're ready for the next one. So Rob, were you ever able to find that person? Or if not, I think we might have to move on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the question here specifically. I know Patty is in the chat here. Patty, can you let us know what your question was? I think it was 6 seconds was a channel. What was your specific question? Because I remember reading it. It was a good one. So let us know in the chat, Patty. There's a channel here. I think this is one. Simple affirmations for life. I decided to implement longer tags and adjust the title to the results I find in the Keyword Explorer. Should I focus less on the keyword score for the titles of the video so that they make more sense? And should I include longer tags?
So that's a really good question. I'll go ahead and pull up your channel now. So I see it here, and I will pull it up. Yeah, YouTube made it a little bit harder for us to pull from the chat.
I know.
We will still, this is the correct channel, right? Simple affirmations for life. So they said, I decided to implement longer tags and adjust the title to the results I find in Keyword Explorer. Should I focus less on the keyword score for the titles of the videos? No, you should be focusing on understanding the keyword score. Because again, as we said earlier, if you make a video no one's searching for, that's not TubeBuddy's fault. That's just not understanding how to use the tool. And that's what we're here to do, is help you understand how to use these tools. So you said that you focus less on the keyword score for titles. You should. And you asked, should I include longer tags? The argument for longer tags is if they're relevant to the video and if the keyword you found is being searched. So I think it's important for us to distinguish the difference between a keyword and a tag, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the keyword is the main focus of what the video is about, right, Rob?
That's right.
And the tags are used to be in conjunction with what the video is about. So the main keyword. So your tags are based around that keyword. So if Rob, for example, is doing 5 LinkedIn live tips to help you grow on LinkedIn, and then he does Facebook tips, best way to grow on Facebook, they're not based on the keyword, which was LinkedIn live tips, right? So tags should be supporting the keyword or the main focus of what your video is about.
Right.
So do you see a video here, Rob? Maybe we can take a deeper look at?
Let's see. How about that one there with the orange, kind of yellowish text? Positive self-confidence affirmations for... Let's do that one.
So let's start looking here. So if I click here, positive self-confidence affirmations. This is probably what I'd say is the root keyword, right?
Yeah.
Now, here is where it gets, understanding this as a traffic light. I mean, what do we see here, Rob, for search volume?
Orange, red, almost red.
So
it's not that much search.
Which, and one thing I'm looking at is when I look here, maybe, positive affirmation might be something people are searching for, but I wouldn't have recommended doing this on that. But if I look at positive affirmations, I see sleep, morning, ASMR, meditation for success and money, right? So you put for healthy self-esteem. So positive affirmations for self-esteem is actually, let's see what people are saying. It's a bit better, right? But you have to understand, even with a 10% click-through rate, if you have that in search, you're only going to be averaging about 760 views a month, right? So to some channels, that's fantastic. But to some channels, that's not enough to go after. So when you put the self-confidence in between the positive affirmations for help, self-esteem, you're changing how people might search for this. Now, I do think, go ahead, Rob.
No, I was going to say, that's a good point. Even just the order of the words make a difference.
Well, it's because it's not the same search results. Like a great example was earlier when I accidentally typed in don't, and it was supposed to be won't. And don't ended up being a much better term. A simple shift, because English especially is a difficult and confusing language. So
truly is.
So there are 3 different ways to say right in our language. So he writes on his right hand, Mr. Right. is a complete and honest sentence, but is very confusing.
Very confusing.
So when it comes to the keyword research, I would just make sure that there's a good amount of search volume, or a search volume enough that makes sense for you to target. Because some people are like, I'm not getting views, but in reality, you're getting views. You're getting the maximum you can considering the data that's out there, right?
So basically what you're saying, Andrew, is that they've kind of hit them, like they'll hit a max depending on like the number of searches, right?
Yeah.
So so there's only so much, because that it does come up a lot. You know, people will say, I've got a really good video, but I'm not getting views on it. And then you kind of see, and then there's really no search, or not that much search. So they've kind of maxed out the audience that's interested in that particular video.
And keep in mind, that's on a monthly basis too. So like it could change and it could trend. Like let's say tomorrow that goes trending and that video just happens to hit, right? Then that could work really well. But I also see the opposite, where some people are so specific on how they do videos that no one is searching, right? Like if I say how to open a red letter in the middle of a live stream with Rob Balasabas on July 1st, 2020, if anyone in the world searched for that organically, I would just say that's a win. I got a view.
Yeah, you'll be at the top, man. Top of the list.
But being the top 0 is not making you a hero. So
1 out of 1.
1 out of 1 isn't always the best thing. You can be so unique that no one can find you, and that's not necessarily a good thing. But looking at the channel, I think it's one thing that's good here. You know, simple, for lack of a better word, it's simple to understand what they're about. Simple affirmations for life. Speak your goals into existence. So simple changes could be helping you speak your goals into existence one video at a time. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So then there's a reason to subscribe. There's a clear, Rob, I've asked you this twice. Could you tell me when they go live?
There we go. We got one here. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's awesome. Every other day.
Exactly. And so it's clear, it's easy to understand. And so many channels we look at, we're just hoping we figure it out.
Yeah, the one thing though, on the banner, on the bottom right of the banner, there's no social icons. That's I mean, unless that's on purpose. If you're not trying to drive people to any of your social icons or a website or something like that,
they might just trying to focus on subscribers.
Try and subscribe. That's cool too. So, there you go.
So if I had to give this a grade, my main thing based on like the video SEO and based on kind of what I'm seeing, I'd probably be between a C- to C+ here, because it's clear they're doing the research. It's clear they have a decent understanding, but there's a lot that they could do to get better, you know?
Yeah. Some keywords. Yeah, I would go with you on that. It's good. Awesome. Okay. Anything else that you want to add to this channel, Andrew? That's great channel. Thanks for submitting that one. Simple affirmations for life. I found the channel.
Go for it. All right. Let me know which one.
Sorry, you didn't say. Sorry, I just kind of cut you off. Awesome. This is good. Thank you so much again. Simple affirmations for life. So this is a channel here. I know Patty, and I think Patty is with this channel here, and there's somebody else in the channel as well here in the chat. So again, let us know what your question is, but I think it is as far as actually coming up on search ranks, with their keywords. So first, let's make this a little bit bigger. Can you guys see it okay? All right. All right, Andrew, let's pull the let's go backwards on this one. What's your thoughts on the banner?
So
can you tell what this channel is about?
Ready to start being smarter with feelings. New videos Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm assuming it's about emotional intelligence based, it says the Emotional Intelligence Network, but I would say ready to start being smarter with feelings. Like that's the question they're asking the viewer. My main thing is you have a lot of real estate and that's kind of small. I might make that a little larger. Similar with the new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. One thing you don't want to accidentally do is make your audience have to work to find stuff about your channel,
Right. Got it. Awesome. They've got their calls to action here on the right and everything. So that's great. Awesome. You've got a Spanish channel, it looks like, as well, that you're featuring. That's good. Okay, let's look into Channelytics here. So they've got their channel tags set up, Andrew. Any thoughts on that?
So the channel keywords is what I want to take a look at here. I mean, emotional intelligence, the one word keywords are similar to videos. Like if I were to type in the word happiness, how long would it take me to find this channel? Probably a good amount of time, just based on, things like that. So one thing I'd recommend is maybe focus on popular videos that really worked, like emotions in our everyday life. If that isn't a keyword, that should be, right? And then I see emotional intelligence learning lab. That should be another one. So all these things that are based around your channel are great natural ones. Like how to change with emotional intelligence is definitely something that should be a channel keyword.
Right.
And so it's similar to your title, description, and tag. Your channel tags or your channel keywords, my apologies, should describe the content that's already there.
And then as far as like these playlists, so navigating uncertain times, I mean, it's fairly long. What's your thoughts on really long playlist names like this one? I mean,
so it depends.
It does have emotional, like leverage emotional intelligence in there, but it's fairly long.
It's very long. It would depend if people click on it, right? So it's hard because let's see if navigating uncertain times is even searchable. Like, let's start there. So if you don't mind, I will, or you can type it in, navigating uncertain times.
Yeah.
Oh.
Navigating uncertain.
I see uncertainty, but maybe that would be a better idea just right off the bat, right? So navigating uncertain times. So maybe try uncertainty. Let's see that. So right there, right off the bat, it's not terrible. It could be better. It's still pretty fair. So try uncertain times. Because what might happen is, yes, you're targeting that. Unfortunately, it's pretty poor in search, right?
Yeah.
So while it is definitely well optimized, it's not optimized for a term that has a lot of search, unfortunately.
Gotcha. There you go.
So Pretty Penny Club is asking, how do we decide which channels to review? We're pulling from the ones in the description down below. So if you write a good describing, self-review, we might pull it up. But a lot of people, unfortunately, write, what can I do better? And that doesn't help us know what you need to improve, because otherwise it just becomes everything.
So yeah, this is Patty and Tom. So Andrew, let's take a look at one of the videos here and kind of take a look at their optimization.
Sure.
So let's see. You want to pull up the most recent video?
Sure. Does management need to change?
Does management needs to change? So let's check that one out.
Now, this might not be a search-based video as well. This one, we can see, but they're pretty much killing it when it comes to search. From what I'm seeing, they're ranking pretty well. If you click show search results and then go to, I'll go ahead and pull it on here. We can see, does management need to change? It's pretty fair. Like, there is some search here. If we go to results, they're ranking #1. So there is some decent search for this.
Nice.
And I like this because it's doing something YouTube recommends. It's being both searchable and compelling, right? So the searchable part, does management need to change? I don't know. Does it? And then they say, but what are the skills managers need today? The only thing I might say is that you're asking 2 questions, and that it may not cause people to click. Of course, you'll have your analytics. I'm also seeing that you don't have a pinned comment here, as well as you haven't hearted any of the responses you've gotten. I'll go ahead and drop a like, make that an even 50, boom. But you also don't have end screens, and we don't see info cards. So there's a lot on YouTube itself you could be doing.
Yep.
So with that, I would say, yes, you're doing the SEO well. Make sure you're doing all the things YouTube recommends, like replying to comments, pinning comments.
Yeah, end screens and info cards. Those are huge.
I'm curious on what does it mean to be a manager in 2020? Like, this actually has some decent search, and you're ranking #2 for it. So for us, it's excellent because the barrier to entry comparatively for us is we're kind of crushing it. If we go to unweighted, it's still very good.
Yeah.
So this is actually, does management need to change? This actually is a pretty greatly optimized title. And I think that's part of the reason it's doing well. There is some interest in it. All I would say is pin a comment, ask more questions. Does management need to change? What are essential skills managers need today? Perfect. They naturally and organically restated their title as a descriptive word, right? And then they have their keywords organically between all three. So this is what I would have to say is one of the best we've seen when it comes to optimizing. So for that alone, I think we could go on the grade here. What are you thinking, Rob?
I'm gonna give it a B.
Solid B. I was in between a B- to B+. So
there you go.
If we round that out, solid B it is.
That's the average right there. That's awesome. And that last video that was really well optimized was actually a live stream. So well done.
It can work.
Tom and Patty. Yeah. Live streams can rank. So well done. Well done.
I think I'll pull the next one.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So while I'm looking, you want to see if they're
here. I really want to address it really quickly here from Sally. What is an info card? So Sally, an info card is, you'll see it on the top right of videos when you're watching on YouTube. It'll pop out. It's like a link to another video or a website. But yeah, that's what that is. It pops out of the top right of your videos, and that's what's called an info card. And you can add those throughout your videos. Really helps with session time and keeping that viewer watching more videos within your channel.
So the next one I wanted to pull up is here from White Noise Studios, and they're asking how can I improve in general? How can I get better playlists, videos, and how can I get a thorough line between my videos and playlists? So I think that's a great question. I think a lot of people have similar ideas. Like, I have videos, but I don't feel like they're working together. And I don't really know how to make playlists. But before we go there, I just have to say, Rob, can you let me know when you can expect a new White Noise Studio video?
I can. Really good. Every Tuesday and every Saturday.
I also like how we know what kind of videos to expect. Reviews, recordings, mixing, and mastering. Makes a lot of sense. Very clear, very concise.
I like a picture.
Yeah, I like how we can see some stuff. If you're on mobile, it'll cut off here. But if you're on the desktop, there's even more. And so I like that. I like how there's an extra level, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like how it's very clear what the intention is. The only thing I might say is helping you master your mix and recordings every week with new videos or something like that. So subscribe, something like that. Just simple, just make it a little more actionable. But what you have now is really solid, in my opinion. Yeah. They were asking about how their playlist usage is, right? So in-depth plugin reviews. So I'm assuming these are about plugins on boards or mixers, etc. My only thing is I think that distortion plugins review is a lot better than in-depth plugin reviews, because there's a little bit. So these are about distortion plugins where this is just all plugins.
Gotcha.
Another thing I would do is, what if I want to see the most recent White Noise Studio video? Maybe put White Noise Studio recent upload. So if I'm a new user, I don't see content from 4 months ago or a month ago. I can see the most recent stuff, because as it is, I kind of have to search to find the most recent video. The one I can see here is, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
But do you see what I'm saying, Rob? Like, a lot of these, I'm just kind of hoping.
Yeah. So you would suggest having the recent uploads, right?
No, I'd recommend creating your own, because the recent uploads from YouTube never shows up in search. That's where if someone looks up White Noise Studio, you can have your own playlist show in search. And in fact, someone who was in the chat earlier, hopefully they're still here, Paul Peck has his uploads very well optimized for like playlists. And I've had them show up in search, and I've actually had YouTube recommend that playlist for me. If you create those kind of playlists, YouTube will push them. I see White Noise Studio says he's writing notes.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome. That's perfect.
That's what we hope to see.
That's great.
So I would say I don't hate having the in-depth plugin review. I think it's good to have a playlist with all your plugins, right?
Yep.
As long as your favorite plugin is TubeBuddy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta get one in there.
Had to go there.
But
too easy.
It's just a little bit of fun. Hopefully that's when the dislikes start. But hopefully that makes a little more sense. Like, I like in-depth, Plugin Alliance plugin reviews. So this is a specific brand. Learn recording, mixing, and mastering. I think that's pretty decent. I would say, since you have said reviews, recording, mixing, and mastering, subconsciously, this is what you're putting as the order of importance. So if this isn't, maybe you switch it. Maybe you put, if that is, so what I'm seeing so far is a lot of reviews. So that's making sense. It takes a bit to get into the recordings, right? We have to go to 1, 2, 3, 4 playlists down. So maybe keep in mind, this is kind of the order you're presenting in.
That's a good point. So just mirror that order in your sections on the homepage.
I'm seeing people are having pages of notes. Thank you, Learn Along. White Noise Studio says that would be weird in a mix. TubeBuddy vs T3. So that'd be a challenge from us to you is remix your review, and then we just hear that on loop. Is Rob laughing and me making puns? That's the remix, and then everyone loses. That's what we learn.
No one wins. No,
exactly. Yeah. But Rob, what do you think of the thumbnails, and what are you thinking of how they're titled?
I like the thumbnails. Yeah, the thumbnails really jump. You got pictures of the mixers, the boards there. There's like sprinkles of you as well, which is good. I think that's important for sort of like tutorial type channels like yours is, so that there's a connection to you as well as the person, so yeah, the thumbnails are great.
So I guess I want to look at a review like this one's from 4 months ago. Let's see how the SEO is looking. I just want to say I love the studio look I see here. It looks really awesome. It's a very good studio, but I'd hope so since studio's in the name. So you're ranking pretty well, I would say.
That's great.
There's not much I could say here. You're talking about the I'm hopefully pronouncing this wrong, Oak Sound Soothie 2 VST plugin. So ironically, I don't see that entire phrase as this entire thing. I don't see this as a tag. Like I see parts of it, but that's a very simple one that could easily be a tag, which you're probably ranking for. Now, the reason I say that is because if someone is looking for this plugin exactly, you could be an exact match, which is powerful.
Right.
So if I were to search this up really quick, we look at results. Hopefully we'll see you. Actually, you're number 2. Look at that. But still.
There it is.
And the search is poor, but you're trying to gain authority, right? So I also want to see if people are just looking for it like this. Because you're ranking number 6. There's about 110. So I think considering that this is very specific, you're doing as well as you can. But this is a great example of there's only about 110 people monthly searching for this as of right now. It could go up and it could go down per month, but that's based on the last month.
Yep.
That's not to say, he says that number 1 video is also his, so he's claiming authority.
There you go.
Hey, when your biggest competition is competing against yourself, you're in a positive problem.
Bad. Yeah.
Like that's a very positive problem.
That's right.
The one thing I would say is I think you could use a little bit more. You get 200 words in your description here, or 200 characters, I should say. Let me rephrase that, not words, characters. Yeah. I think that's something you could include a little more of these keywords. So you could say, you have OK Sound released Sooth 2 and updated the original Sooth plugin. In this Oak Sooth 2 VST plugin review, we'll take it through its paces and let you know how it is, or something like that, just to naturally and organically include that again.
Yep.
Piper's Picks TV has a point here that I wanted to bring up because this is actually something. Hasn't YouTube recently minimized the use of tag? Daryl makes it sound like you should put only alternates to words in titles and descriptions. Daryl actually said, as long as it says minimal role, but it still has a role. That was Daryl's exact quote. So he recommends doing pretty much what we're recommending here, which is really focusing it around on the root keyword. He may have changed his stance, but Daryl is evolving with the algorithm. What we recommend is making sure that whatever your root keyword, in this case, which is the OK Sound Sooth 2, is the focus of your tags and other ways people could type to find it. That's what we do. Now, if you noticed, you can earn views, and this is something we can show with TubeBuddy. There's a way you can see which search term has led to views. So if I go to the My Videos page, and let's say, let's look up, what's the video that's performed? This one's been performing pretty well. If we click on details here, right? See where you rank. This is doing pretty well. If you go to tag tools, as you can see, we practice what we preach, trying to rank number one. Yes. If you go to suggested, you can see with this fun icon here, how many views each specific keyword phrase that people search for led to views. So TubeBuddy for YouTube got us 12 views on this video. TubeBuddy tags, which actually makes a lot of sense. If you click on the 3 dots, you can see we're ranking number 4. And we actually didn't even have that. It's an oversight on my part. See, I'm not perfect, folks. I can make mistakes.
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, so this is just showing you. So tags can still lead to views, right? Like I think people, the problem is people expect good tags to save videos that really aren't that good or even matching the title, right? Or the real what the video is about. So people put all this weight on tags when reality is a great SEO and great tags can't save that bad at performing of a video.
That's right. That's right.
Chaotic style. So all tags should be close to channel tags. No, that's not what I was saying. Channel tags should be a completely different beast, right? They're channel keywords, actually, to be technical. If we go to settings, you will see where you can go to channel, and then you will see channel keywords. So what these should be is overall large, broad topics that your channel is about. So if people are searching for that, your channel can surface.
Yeah, Beanie Draws says, if search wasn't important, Google search wouldn't be important.
Yeah. But to go back to what we were looking at originally, which is White Noise Studio, I think it's time for a grade. What do you think here, Rob?
Oh, man, I would say a B.
Man, Rob's loving, he's at B for Belisada.
Yeah, liking the B, you know?
I was actually a B plus to A minus. So look at that. So I guess we're going to be at an average of a B plus. Are we all right with that?
I would say so. Yep. Perfect.
So
that's great. Yeah, great channel. Great channel. White Noise Studio. Keep it up, man. That's awesome. 611 subscribers. I mean, that's great. You know,
the only thing,
a lot of views too for the amount of subscribers. I think. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't disagree
on your videos. So well done.
Another thing I would say is if you want to expand your reach, maybe consider how to mix certain mics, because people are going to look for mics. Maybe you review a mic. That could be something you consider. I know it may not fit right now, but what do you record on?
Yeah. Oh, you mean to get outside of just talking about mixers?
Well, it comes into play because then you can talk about what's the best mixer for a mic. That goes into actually something you were looking up recently, Rob. Exactly, you were asking me advice.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And then that you can come up with different combinations of mixers and microphones and what works and what situations and things like that.
And if you put affiliate links in all of those videos, which I hope you are, that's a great chance to help your channel in another financial mean. Of course, if you're watching, legally disclose their affiliate links.
That's right.
So, Rob, I picked a channel. I think it's time you do.
All right. Yeah, go through the comments there for a moment, and I'm just going to go through the channels here.
So White Noise Studio says, yes, true, but that's expensive. I think with your channel and the quality of your videos, try reaching out. I know DD Microphones is a great company that works with a lot of creators, big and small. I think if you show them some of the quality of your reviews, ask for a review unit, you'd be very surprised. So as Rob is searching, if you guys have any questions about anything we've gone over, please feel free to ask. We have from Paul Peck, if you make evergreen content, search is golden. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I think I found one here. I'm going to just pull up the channel here for a second.
I actually have one question, which comes from Red Jungle Media. Is there such a thing as too many uploads in one day? I'm trying to figure out my average should be. So yes, you can have too many uploads in one day. You need to think of it as a subscriber, right? If Rob puts out 19 videos right now, and I'm subscribed to Rob, I love you, but there's no way I can watch 19 videos. No. And I'd be like, Rob, what are you doing?
There's no way I could even make that many videos, even in a month. No. All right. Okay. Thanks for your patience, guys. There's lots of channels. Awesome. Really good to see. I just want to make sure that we are.
If you're going to do.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead, Andrew.
Can you hear me, Rob?
Yep.
Can you hear me, Rob? Perfect. So basically, what I recommend when it comes to it is try to do one video every at least 48 hours because you want to let your videos breathe. One mistake a lot of channels make is they just constantly put out content and then they're constantly competing with themselves. So their past videos don't get a chance, to breathe and have value, right? So, Rob, if you're ready, I think we can look at another.
You bet. Just 2 seconds. I'm trying to find one here.
Uh-oh. Ike's calling you out, Rob. That's me with Rob's Instagram stories.
What's that?
Ike says that's me with Rob's Instagram stories.
Scrolling through. So many. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. See some SEO growth formula inconsistent. Okay, sorry guys. I'm so many.
No worries. I'll answer this question from Daughter of Darkness.
Sure.
How do you get YouTube to recommend playlists? So YouTube will recommend a playlist to a viewer if they watch a lot of your content, right? So the way suggested works is based on your viewers' viewing habits. So if I watch 28 Rob Balasabas videos about LinkedIn Live, then YouTube's going to know, well, he's watched 28 Rob Balasabas videos about LinkedIn Live. Rob's got a playlist here, and it's a series playlist. Maybe we should try recommending it because he liked the other stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's going to recommend viewers stuff based on their watch habits. See, Rob has something here.
All right, let's take this one. So the question is, what do you guys think of my titles and thumbnails? I'm starting to believe that it's impossible for me to improve because there's a lot of videos like mine. And in some of my videos, I hit 100 SEO score on Keyword Explorer, but it didn't blow up as expected. So please help me.
First, the 100 on the SEO score is not equal to the score in Keyword Explorer. SEO Studio is just making sure you're following 100% of what YouTube recommends. That doesn't guarantee views, which is what we've been saying.
There you go. Now, Andrew, banner, thoughts?
Free your mind, get motivated every day. I mean, it tells me, at least it's daily, but as I said about daily, you're constantly competing against yourself. Free your mind is pretty vague.
Yeah.
If it was something like helping you free your mind every day with a new motivational piece of content to uplift you in these dark times, that's actionable. It's specific. It's letting me know it's motivational videos. It's just being a little more specific.
Yep, absolutely. We got Beanie Draws here, says he likes the banner. It's simple. Simplicity is good. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. The fonts are good and stuff. But yeah, just like a little bit more clear on what the channel is about and communicate that. Okay, got channel tags there or channel keywords.
It's just very minimal is the best way I could describe it. It's like, if we look here, we have motivation, mind, mindset. If we were to type in mind, how long would it take for your channel to show? If we typed in speech, motivation, like it's too broad. And as you said, you're really struggling, but this is so broad, it's going to be difficult if people are even searching for this, right?
Right. Yep, good call. And thumbnails. Thumbnails are branded well, but does it tell you does it make you want to click? What's your thoughts on that, Andrew?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things, and this goes to honestly everyone, is what does your analytics say? Because I can think a thumbnail is great, and Rob could think it's trash, but if people are clicking, that's what really matters. So looking here, I guess we can look at the titles, right? Because that's what they asked us to do.
Yep.
So recover from your breakup. Let's see if people are searching for that, because that's what I do. Let's look at the Keyword Explorer. Recover from your breakup.
Let's switch it over here.
It's pretty low in the search volume. That's not saying that that's not what people are looking for, but let's look up breakup, which is the root word, right? So if we look up breakup, we can see people are looking for some songs. They're looking for a lot of music. You can thank Ariana Grande for that one. But maybe breakup advice would be better. So that's a little bit better. The search volume's about 31,000. So if you got 10% of that, that's about 3,100 views. Breakup advice might work better. If it's a motivational video on breakup, how to get over it, I would assume that that's not a bad place to start, breakup advice. And then a motivational video might be exactly what that person needs. And because you're titling it, it's a motivational video, that's a little more searchable. But the problem is, what it was to start wasn't all that searchable, right, Rob?
Yeah. It's a little hard if it's not searchable in the beginning,
because that's not like, you can follow 100% of what YouTube recommends, which is what we're doing in our SEO studio. But you really need to look at the keyword score and see, are people looking for this? What's the interest in this? Shadow says another good example could be how to get over your ex, a motivational video. Absolutely. So a lot of times when you're doing something that's motivational based, you got to really focus on, well, what do people need? Because it could be a great title, and a film doesn't necessarily need to be searchable, right? But the problem is, if no one's looking for it and you're trying to show up in search, that's hard.
Yeah.
I see a good question from Intentional Nurse Life Balance. What if the search volume is great, but the number of videos in search is high? So if it has good search volume, it's probably going to have good competition. Like we can see that here with the term Rob has in Search Explorer. Search volume is pretty medium, but the competition is high. So actually it says excellent. So what that means is the search volume is low. So this is my screen, I think, actually.
That's your screen. Yeah. It's your screen.
I'm like, wow, that looks exactly like mine, Rob. Good job. Shows you how into it I am. But the thing is, the competition right here is excellent because there's not that many videos on it.
Right.
Its search volume is fair. If your competition is poor, that means there's a lot of people competing. A great example is if I go into Keyword Explorer, let's type in, just for Rob here, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Now, LinkedIn is probably going to be very competitive, but also, Rob, if you got a 10%, could you imagine?
Not bad, right?
Rob, would you be upset with 32 million views estimate?
32, yeah, not bad. I'd settle for that.
Rob would figure it out. I think Rob
would figure it out.
But the thing is, for Rob to break through here, it's so competitive. While this is low, you need to understand, if we go and search on LinkedIn, let's actually bring this up in search, there's probably going to be a lot of new videos, which you can tell by the new tag here. YouTube gives new uploads 7 days from when they're published to kind of do well in search. But the problem is because there's so many people talking about LinkedIn, that new tag is going to be overrun constantly by new people discussing LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So the problem is there's a lot of competition. So for Rob, that may not be a good one to go after. So while the search volume is excellent, the amount of sheer competition for Rob means that the second he puts out that video, there's going to be probably, let's actually look at the stats. There's going to be hundreds.
Yeah. Of new videos right away.
Let's see the estimate of videos. 8.17 million. So there could be 100 videos on it tomorrow, right, as Rob goes.
Exactly.
So it becomes a lot harder for us to recommend that. But if he goes LinkedIn tutorial for beginners, well, that's going to have different results.
780. That's okay.
So there's just different ways to look at it.
Yep.
So I would say if we go back to this channel, while I think it's simple and it looks good, if we go back to Rob's here, my problem with it is that it's almost too simple for its own good, and it should target what people need, exactly matching, because I think the recover from your breakup is compelling. I think if you would have targeted how to get over an ex, recover from your breakup motivational video, that'd be both searchable and compelling, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just understanding who your target audience is for this. I mean, is it male, female? Who are you targeting? Become a leader, then sort of like relationship breakup sort of advice video. I think that just having a more clear understanding of who it is you're going after.
And I think this goes into this question from Life of
Mhm.
Geek. And this is a common question we get. Is it
Yeah.
bad if I don't have a less niche, and I do a bit of everything? So, Rob, what do you think?
I think, well, in the beginning, it's hard to figure out your niche. So I think it's in the beginning, it's hard. But as you create more, you need to, I mean, if you really want to grow on YouTube, my experience is that you definitely need to go deep into the niche, into the audience, into the topics, if you want to grow. That's just how YouTube works, right? So YouTube they want to understand what your channel's about so that they can share your videos and your channel and your content with other people out there that may be interested in what you have to share. So by going really specific in your content, then that's how you help YouTube understand that.
Exactly. I think we saw that with White Noise Studio, or even Fit with Fahad, right? Like how they had a really specific niche and it's able to understand what they are. If you're doing a bit of everything, it's a little more difficult, right? Like if Rob was a review camera gear and review based channel, he's like, I'm going to talk about this Gorilla Pod. I'm talking about the Switch Pod ball head. I'm just pulling stuff near me. And then one day Rob's like, you know what? I'm going to start talking about cat spray and cat care. Although you subscribed for filmmaking stuff, but I want to talk about cat care. His subscribers are going to be like, Rob, we like
What's
your cat.
on?
We get you got a cat. Yeah, we came for the film stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What does the cat stuff have to do? And if you watch a cooking show, you never expect in the middle of the cooking show for it to turn into a monster truck rally. There are two different audiences. I think it'd be very entertaining, especially if I didn't see it coming. But you have to think, how would a viewer feel if they subscribe for one thing from you and you stop doing that completely?
Right.
And have you ever had that happen on a channel you watch?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want to avoid, right? So there's a question here. Man, I lost it already. I looked away and then I looked back and it's already gone. Here it is. This way through. Does that apply to lists for general topics?
So what specifically?
What specifically? I think we may have missed that. I think with a bit of a delay in the chat, we may have missed what exactly we were asking. But I think just as far as being more general, does it apply to lists? Or do you want more specific? Like it's the same thing, right? If you're doing like top 5 or top 3 things type list type content, it's still the same thing. Like you still have to do the keyword research and the content still needs to be, niche, you really need to understand what your content is about. So it does apply still, in my opinion. So even if you're creating lots of list type content, be very specific about what those lists are. They, speaking to the same person, right? You're targeting the same audience.
Fair. So I think I'll look for a channel because Rob, you look lots, and you can look at some of these here.
Yep.
I see what you're talking about. We're getting a lot of how do I do better?
Yeah. So guys, if you're submitting questions, please just really specific. If it's thumbnails or if it's channel tags, if it's keywords, just be really specific about what it is that you want us to look into. It's just really difficult to be like, how do I get better? That's such a big question. But how do you change your channel tags? All you need to do is go into the settings, into your dashboard, into the settings, and that's where you'll be able to change your channel tags there.
We actually showed that earlier in this video too.
Exactly.
So I found a channel if you would like to take a look, Rob. And this is Lifestyle by Jeanette. Inspiration, lifestyle, fashion, and beauty. And their question is, they said that they've been using TubeBuddy for a short while and they're learning the ropes. They're asking if we can see if they're doing things right in terms of title, tagging, and describing. So this actually gives us places to go. So they're wanting to know, are they doing the SEO basics well? So first, let's just kind of take a look at the channel banner, right? So we know that it's lifestyle, inspiration, fashion, and beauty. We know who it's by. But Rob, once again, when are they going to be posting?
Yeah, exactly. See?
If Rob became the biggest Lifestyle by Jeanette fan, he would be upset because he couldn't easily tell when she's posting.
I'd have to guess. I'd have to go in the videos and kind of see your pattern and everything. So just let me know really easily in the banner, like every Tuesday morning or every, whatever day it is.
And if you don't have an exact date, that's fine. You can say once a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at least by Friday, it's like, oh, it's Friday. I should probably see. Is Jeanette uploaded? Oh, yeah, she has. At least they know, right? Which is better than, let's hope.
Yep.
So they were wanting an SEO more type review. So I would say, is there any video that stands out to you, Rob, right here?
SEO type review. Some of these are episodes, so it looks like kind of interviews. So let's go into that. The one on the top right there. How to regrow your hair. Yeah, how to regrow hair loss treatment.
So this is actually a great place to start. I'll go ahead and drop a like from TubeBuddy. So it seems that to me, I would say that the focus is how to regrow hair, right? This would be regrow hair. So let's look at search rankings. So a lot of these are close, like how to grow hair, how to recover, but there's not exactly, there's one, how to regrow edge braids, but that's not in the title, right? It's how to regrow hair loss treatment that works. So this, I would say, is first, let's look up how to regrow hair. I will actually just open Keyword Explorer like that. I'll look up how to regrow hair. So there's definitely a lot of people looking for this. So how to regrow hair. Search volume is very good, not bad, but the competition is poor. And if we look here, the barrier to entry required is about 2,000, I'll just round up, 200 views, right? And this video only has 125. So probably what happened is YouTube helped this video out with that new tag, right?
Yep.
But when it couldn't compete, it started losing the rankings. So the problem is this does have a lot of search and it's a good target, but it may have been a bit too competitive for this. Now, how to regrow hair, 10 tips to naturally regrow hair. There aren't a lot of videos that actually target how to regrow hair directly. Like we have 10 tips to naturally regrow hair. Is it possible for lost hair to grow back? Hair loss, regrow your hair. There's not a lot of how to regrow your hair exact videos, right?
Right.
So I think there is an opportunity here because that's what we're showing in optimization strength. If you ever wonder what this means, it says that videos are not well optimized. Then it provides you, so in this case, it is you, Jeanette, the optimal chance to really shine here, which I think you could if you just change things to be a little bit more about regrowing your hair, because that's what you told YouTube this video is about. I think hair loss treatment that works is definitely very compelling. I wouldn't put your channel name in the title. I think it's kind of apparent and YouTube knows. You can put it here in your tags that you have and it's already here. I wouldn't put it in the title. I would focus more on being searchable and compelling than restating what you already have, you know? So in this video, I tell you how to regrow your hair. Again, how to regrow hair that has been tested and trusted to produce results. This hair loss treatment this hair loss treatment works. I think that you're doing a good job. There's a couple of like more minor things you could do just to really help, but I would say that I think you optimize this well. I just think there's ways you can improve it. I think that's a great point from Learn Along there. Go from thin to thick hair. There's different kinds of hair types. So I think that this video did as well as it could for you within that first kind of week, but it probably started, tapering off because it is so competitive. So fundamentally, you did very well here. It's just I would say maybe you didn't know to look at the competition or the barrier to entry, but it performed as well as it could given the data we have. Right.
Yeah, or like specifically for women. I mean, this looks like it's regrow hair for women. Yeah, just kind of going deeper and like more long tail with the keyword to get that further out.
For sure.
Yeah.
So like, I think the titles definitely are searchable. I would just say making sure you can actually have a chance, right? Because if I knew going forward I needed 100,000 views per video to rank for a video I want to do, TubeBuddy does well. My personal channel does okay. I can't hit that. I don't think Rob could hit that right now, right? Nick Nimmin, Daryl Leaves would struggle to hit that too. So it's understanding the realization of how your channel can compete.
Make Media, the coffee's right here.
People are calling Rob out. He's our coffee and like aficionado, and he doesn't even have it. I look in the cup. It's not even coffee.
It's water. No, it's actually coffee.
What is coffee but grounded and hot beans? So
That's
water
right.
is needed. So
that's right. Gotta get your water in, man. Of course. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Janet. That's hopefully that was helpful. Any other thoughts on this channel?
I think
a little bit of.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the thumbnails look really nice. You know, they're let's see there. Yeah, I mean they're well done. You got some text in there.
Similar advice I would say is instead of uploads, maybe you call it Lifestyle by Jeanette recent uploads. I'd also keep in mind that when you have a playlist that's vertical like this on a desktop or a TV, it really makes a person have to scroll down. So I would consider doing more horizontal so that it really is optimizing the space well. But I think we're ready to give a grade. So Rob, where are you feeling? What's your heart of hearts telling you?
Yeah. I would probably say somewhere around B- or C+.
All right, so we got a B-, and I'll put it over here to C, and that's a really tiny C+, but I wasn't expecting to draw on the fly. I'm right there with you. I was a C+ to a B- as well. I think for improvement, I think we can. How about we let chat decide? Do you guys think this is a C+ or a B-?
Yeah,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know, guys. What do you grade this? What is the range? First of all, Andrew, what's the range? A to what?
A to F, and I don't think it's an F.
No, I don't think we have any Fs. I don't think we've come across any Fs yet.
And if you give it an F, I say we turn that F to an A. Look at that, just helping along as we go.
Yeah, let us know. What do you grade these? It's always really good. I mean, there's some really good advice coming out of here too. Paul Peck says B-. This is awesome.
Yeah. While we're getting those in, and Rob, if you want to look for someone else to do,
try to look for another one here.
I want to answer this question from Paulo Notes, and they say, how long would you suggest the keyword title should be? And does it matter where you place in the title or the keyword also? So if you're going for search, which is the huge disclaimer, you put the searchable element in the front, the part they're searching for, the compelling element. So for example, like we saw here about hair growth, like the searchable part was the hair growth part, and the compelling element was, I'll do it here. How to regrow hair. Hair loss treatment this is the searchable part, right? And this is a great example. How to regrow hair. That's searchable. Hair loss treatment that works is the compelling part.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you want your searchable part, if you're targeting search, to be first, followed by your compelling element. YouTube says when it comes to titling, you want to keep it between 20 to 70 characters, because when someone's on a mobile device, they're going to shorten the title. So if your title's too long, it could go down. If it's too short, it might not be searchable. And again, the bigger and more authority you have, the less you have to rely on search, but that doesn't mean you should abandon search.
I like it. Awesome. Where did I see? There's a really funny comment here. Make Media says, if you want to see an F, review my channel. So that is, I'm sure it's not an F, but that's not, I like that mentality. You know, let's just keep it light. I know that there's a lot of channels that, I wish we could go through all. I think there's over 100 requests here that have been submitted. So really the way that you look at these review streams is that all of these can be applied to your channel as well. So,
Yes.
if you see something, you're like, hey, that's true. I should do that for my banner. I should do that for my keywords and all those things. You can apply this to your channel as well. But Andrew, I've got one here.
Okay.
Crafter and coder. So one is to look at the overall sort of SEO approach. So we'll take just a look at the SEO aspect of this channel. Really quick look at the banner.
Well, because I know them,
okay.
So that's it. So I think we're good. Great
All
review.
right. So this is an F.
You said keep it lighthearted, so hopefully
there we go. Sorry, that's it. All right, next channel. Okay. No, that's great. Crafter and coder. Thanks for hanging out with us today. The banner is good. Learn to craft and code and see the world from a new view.
Love it.
It's great. We've got the dates as well. You don't have to say new uploads. It kind of just goes without saying. Anyways, for me, let me know if you guys think that you guys understand that Thursdays and Sundays just means that's when they're uploading.
Crafting and coding every Thursday and Sunday.
There you go. See, there you go. We've got channel tags. So we're looking at SEO here specifically. So thoughts on the channel tags, Andrew?
Similarly, I would put the actual full length of the channel as a channel tag. There's a lot of one-word tags, which is a little disheartening. I would also consider, if you're teaching basics or more advanced. Ike says, the light, because you're not in dark mode. People in chat are like,
sorry guys.
So looking here from an SEO, I see free code camp solutions, JavaScript certification. I would describe that playlist. I see you have the second playlist here described, so you definitely could easily describe each playlist. Like I always, similar to how a video description is important, a playlist description is equally as important. So I'd always describe playlists too.
What do you think of putting a hashtag in a playlist?
The problem
is,
if someone is looking for the hashtag doesn't work in that part, so I wouldn't put it in any place it doesn't work. And it doesn't work in the way here. If people are looking up hashtag JavaScript specifically with that term, then go for it. But if not, I wouldn't recommend it.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay. So we've got a number of playlists here. Free code ramps, camp solutions, free code solutions, JavaScript certification. So lots of playlists. So what do you think about playlists, Andrew, that are like, it doesn't take up the whole row? Like some of these are shorter. Is that like a more of a UX kind of, experience for your viewers?
If you're still working on it, it can show viewers that there's not a lot from you on that. So it can also be a way to be like, hey, sorry, don't put your expectations too high yet. I'm still working on it. So it can work to help viewers understand, hey, it's still being worked on. So if you guys are, for example, a newer channel or a smaller channel, don't worry too much about not having it. I think the bigger sin is not having playlists at all.
Right.
Because I've seen channels that have 0 videos on their homepage because they just didn't feature any, but they didn't have even their popular uploads. So it's like they had videos, but you couldn't even see them. So it just really depends.
Yep, I like it. I also like, I don't know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on these. Like a specific playlist has sort of like its own sort of sub brand of thumbnails.
My fear on that is that it's, as a viewer, if I'm scrolling my phone and you scroll back up, I could easily think, I've seen that video.
Right. Good call. Yeah, good point. So mixing it up a little bit, although keeping it somewhat the same, but yeah, mixing it up a little bit. All right, so let's look at one video and let's look at this one here. And let's just look at the SEO of this video.
So free code camp. Palindrome checker. I feel like palindrome checker is more searchable than free code camp. So I would have focused that first, maybe put free code camp at the end because it's more likely they're going to be looking for palindrome checker than per se a free, like the name of the course. And
over there. Okay.
Maybe people know the course and maybe there's enough search volume to, justify it, but that would be the first thing I look at. So I would look up palindrome checker in the Keyword Explorer.
Yep. So let's do that.
And I see there is a result here from your screen that shows the free code camp is ranking. But if you look at the general search overall, it's poor and it's really low. And so while there might be a specific subset that needs it, it's just one of those things where it's so low, it needs to go after.
Right.
And so this video might be performing as well as it can, given the circumstances of people looking for the keyword here.
It's fair. It's fair. Yeah. So one of those situations where it's kind of hit the ceiling as far as like how many people are looking for it. Yeah.
Now, if you're a bigger channel, right? Like let's say that Craft and Coder had 100,000 subscribers. There's definitely, if people are like super into coding, they might need a palindrome checker, right? And this might make 100% sense for them. But in terms of search, this video doesn't make sense when from a search base, but it might make sense for if you have a bigger audience. And so if you're trying to grow and develop your audience, search is the easiest way to do that. It doesn't mean it's the only way to do that. It's just the way you have the most control over.
Right. Sounds good. All right. Any other thoughts on this channel?
I mean, I gave you the F. I mean, I'm joking. Going back to the main channel, again, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I'd say focus being on what people need in coding, go from learn how to code, break it down from there. There's hundreds of different things people need when it comes to coding. And I'd say if you just do that bit of research, you can really find what people need.
Awesome. Sounds good. Awesome. Crafter and Coder, hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. Andrew, another channel?
I think we're over time. So if you guys enjoyed this, be sure if you want to learn more about TubeBuddy, check out tubebuddy.com/101. If you haven't had a chance for your channel to be reviewed, stop by the forums. Our mods will be putting that in the chat now. You can head to YouTube feedback, but make sure on YouTube feedback, you read the rules or your video will get deleted, your thread. So basically you give feedback, you get feedback. And it's actually very useful. We have it very clear here, what you should look. And if all you look is how to grow my channel, similar to what we do here, it won't be approved. But we've had a lot of people get some great advice on how they can improve their channel, their videos. So if we didn't have a chance to do it here, you can do so there. There's also channelreviews.com.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, Andrew, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
That was awesome. Thank you, everyone that was hanging out with us live. And we'll see you over in the community. Again, happy Canada Day. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on the next live.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya. Bye-bye.